Hello and welcome to Maximizing Your Toy List. Thanksgiving's almost upon us, so with that comes Black Friday and good toy sales. This is mostly for kids. I thought I would just make a little video blog on how to maximize your toy list for the holiday seasons. This can also work for birthdays, and siblings and other stuff. Just it's all how you want to use it. Now, I can probably safely say I have over 1,000 toys. I don't have them in the back with me, but I have them in my basement stored away now. How most of that happened was also generously being the only little kid in my family for the longest time. I don't mean I was an only child. I had an older brother, but I was the only little kid, meaning that I had no younger nephews, no younger cousins, and no older siblings that were anywhere close to my age. So I kind of came from a big family. Everything kind of got showered to me for a certain point in my life. That's kind of part of my success. However, another part came from knowing how to work my list. A lot of kids today they'll make their list, what they want, and then say, here's what I want, no more effort into it. And the parents just say, well, they want any of these things, and you might often get doubles of stuff. I remember growing up as a kid, I liked having a double of something. A double of an action figure was good if it was say a stormtrooper or a foot soldier. The soldiers you want doubles of to gang up on your hero characters. However, if it was a single character like Spider-Man or say one of his bad guys, he doesn't have an army of duplicate bad guys. It's kind of like, well, shoot, I already have this guy, but what do I do with him? Not that I wasn't grateful that I got them, but kids today, you can't just write your list and then send it on your way. You have to kind of also work for this yourself. A key thing is to write down a list of what you want, and when your mom asks you, hey, your aunt or uncle is calling, what is it that you want? Don't just give them the whole list. Try to prioritize the list. Pick like 3 things out and say, I want one of these 3 things. Or it'd be nice to get one of these 3 things. When your next uncle or aunt calls or someone else calls, pick another 3 things. That way you're ensuring that you're not going to get doubles of something, and you might get a lot of the things on your list. Second of all, try to get an idea of how much things cost. Now, growing up, I also bought my own toys, so I would also check to know what cost what. Don't go out there and just tell your 80-year-old grandmother, hey, I want the big battle fortress that's about $500 or $100. She can't afford that. She would be happy to give that to you, but in all honesty, she can't afford that. So try to also think about things that be nice to your relatives, because it's like you can't ask them to go and get this big expensive thing for you. That's more something you would say for Santa, or you would say that for your parents, just because they're loving. They'd probably be wanting to help get that for you if they could also afford it too. So if you have a sibling, try to work with them. If the sibling's around your age, try to work with them and try to get something that you both can enjoy or share. That also will help things. Say if you guys both want this, say the Battle Fortress, or you both want a vehicle, it mostly applies to the big things, then you can both share this toy. Now that's also making sure you guys are willing to share these things. Another thing not to do is be vague about what you want. An experience for me, shopping-wise, for getting things for someone, they told me, I want the Star Wars game. I'm like, okay, what Star Wars game do you want? The Star Wars game, the one where they shoot at the people. Like, there's 20 different Star Wars games out there. Do you want it for Wii, PS2, PS3, Xbox? What do you want it for? Well, that's not true. I had an idea of what they wanted for because I know their video game situation, because I'm an uncle like that. Yes, it was for my nephew. But they told me, well, I want the Star Wars Clone Wars game. I'm like, okay, that narrows it down some, but there's 5 of those. Which ones do you want? I want the one where they shoot each other. I'm like, okay, that doesn't really give me a lot of help. Tell me the exact name of it, and I will find it for you. I was also able to get a used one because they were willing to accept used games. That's another thing, kids. Be willing to accept something. If it's a video game, be willing to accept something used, because used games can be often cheaper than new ones, so you can get a lot of more stuff if it's a kind of a used game. We live in the day and age where you can get used games. Back when I was growing up, it was like brand new or nothing. So when I purchased my gift, I found the Star Wars game. When I purchased it, wrapped it up. It had 7 days to return it. I like to shop early. Gave it to them. They said, "Oh, we already have this one." So also know exactly what you have at home as well. Be clear on what you want and know exactly what you're wanting. Don't ask for something vague and not do the research at your house. You could easily just open up your toy box or video game box and say, "Oh, I have this, so I don't need it." It helps maximizing your list. Then you don't sit there like, "Oh, well, this I already have this. What else do you got?" And it's just not right. But if you take these advices into hand and you can maximize your toy list, you might be able to get most of the things you want. Now, keep in mind, as of this video, the economy is kind of bad. So, likewise, don't go out asking for the moon or really big stuff. Just try to keep it simple and be reasonable. I mean, because the holidays aren't all about just getting gifts. It's about family togetherness and other things. It's just, if you want to try to get the most out of your list, follow these steps. Now, these things can also work for girls or boys. It's pretty much general neutral. You just got to make sure you work your list for yourself. Anyways, happy holidays.